So on today's marketing drive, with a little jazz in the background, I'm going to talk about cost per acquisition levels in paid marketing channels. So this often comes up, and we manage about $3.5 million a year worth of paid advertising on Facebook, Twitter, now Snapchat, Google AdWords network, YouTube. So we're beholden to a number of metrics, and the almighty cost per acquisition, or CPAs, pardon me, one of them. And often, in particular in niche industries, esports being one of them, kind of a common feedback we get is the CPA is way too high. And actually, I think that's human nature. We always want a lower CPA. CPA of 0 would be magical, but unrealistic. And I think one of the things to kind of keep in mind is that CPAs are only as low as they need to be and no lower. In defense of a realistic CPA, and I won't call it a high CPA because nobody wants that, but in defense of the fact that when you're communicating an offer through paid media, you want to target the highest or most general addressable audience that you've got. And I've talked before about addressable audiences, so this should make sense. But quite often what happens with paid media spends across a number of industries is you're going to close the sale in your paid advertising campaign. Bad mistake. Don't do that. Your cost per acquisitions will naturally be higher. If you're going for the purchase, right, at a no discounted price, your cost per acquisition is going to be higher because your final addressable audience that is ready to purchase, unless they know you very well, is going to be much lower. And that's where things like remarketing come in, retargeting custom audiences to find that the proper addressable audience for your product. The best thing to do is to actually introduce the notion of the cost per lead and providing value to your audience that you're trying to target at no or low cost to them. So this is the $400 52-inch LCD TV at Best Buy door crasher sale, because it provides a lot of value to the person that really wants that TV, if that makes sense. So what you want to be able to do is in your paid media, and you're looking at your CPAs and you're trying to figure out how to lower them, and there are a lot of tactics to lowering: negative keywords, custom audiences, lookalike audiences, retargeting, remarketing. Those are all very important elements of that. But introduce the notion of the cost per lead, generate leads, get them into your CRM or your marketing automation platform, whether it's HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, Pure 360, direct target, keep going down the line. It doesn't really matter which one you're doing, but capture the lead first through your paid advertising. You're going to get more qualified leads that will hit all of your addressable audiences with your budget don't go directly to the final sale. Make that and introduce that later on in your conversion funnel, so that cost is then going to go down because you've already got the lead. And then your cost per acquisition, if your quote-unquote acquisition is the lead, or again, introducing the new metric of the cost per lead, you're now building up a consumer database, an interested audience that is interested in what you're doing, and you'll then be able to tailor the specific offer or opportunity for them to your captured leads that you've already got. Again, the biggest mistake I see and the biggest feedback that we get is our cost per acquisition is far too high. It shouldn't be $172. Well, when you're trying to target somebody very specifically to make an offer, and it's a cold offer, they've never seen it before, your CPAs are going to be triple digits, sometimes even higher. So introduce a strategy and a notion of a cost per lead. Provide value and incentive to that person to become a lead. Engage them on a regular basis. Use behavioral targeting through your marketing automation platform. Whether they visited the site, have they engaged, did they open the email, did they engage with you on a social network? And then what you can then do is make the offer to them post-marketing spend. That will lower your cost per acquisition. You'll have another new metric called cost per lead, and you should see your costs go down to below $20. And again, that's very general. There is no benchmark for cost per acquisition. If I'm selling a car versus selling a ticket to a movie, those are two extremely different notions, so it's very difficult to compare cost per acquisitions across differing products and differing offers. So benchmark your own CPA. The CPA will be as low as it needs to be, and it can be no lower, because if you drive lower than that for the sake of a bottom line number, you're going to start to attract unqualified leads. So that's the little tip for today. That's the marketing drive. I did a 2 for today because I just had time to do 2. So I'm going to try to stagger these in just in case life gets in the way. You know how it goes and it gets busy. But just to recap and review, your cost per acquisition is only as low as it needs to be. Don't make the final offer in your paid marketing and media spend. That's going to increase your cost per acquisition cost because not as many people will be interested. Provide incentive, introduce the cost per lead notion, right? Provide a way for you to capture leads. And sorry, there's a ton of construction here. I want to get by without smacking my car into these guys. There we go. Introduce the cost per lead and introduce a funnel. And then capture the proper addressable audience, segment them from that spend afterwards. Then you'll be able to increase the number of offers that you make and ultimately lowering your cost per acquisition. So that's the marketing drive. It's actually May 25th, but this may go up on May 26th. I'm not sure. But anyways, that's the marketing drive for today. Have a great day, and may all your CPAs be low.